It is interesting for sure. It is compelling, and if I'm going to super duper narrow it to like the Padres baseball team, which I am certainly interested in my little bubble, like that's relevant.
You bring that up.
There's a lot of directions this could go.
We were talking earlier about teams that have done nothing this winter, right? And the Padres were suspiciously one of those teams, which is bizarre considering how active they tend to be. AJ Preller loves himself a transaction as the general manager of the club. And this explains the inactivity, right? They are in something of a financial holding pattern where they can't operate and conduct any significant moves until they rectify this in some form or fashion, right? They certainly can't add payroll. Now, could they trade away Luis Ariz to cut payroll from their books? Sure, they could do that. But this just goes to explain, in my mind, why they've been so silent. Now, the last point I want to make here is if you go into the comments of any of the stories, whether it's on The Athletic or on Twitter or wherever, right? You read the comments. What do they all say? Roki Sasaki. It's all Roki Sasaki. Now, this is bigger than Roki Sasaki. Obviously, there are billions of dollars at stake here. But the Japanese phenom who has to make a decision about where he's going to play within the next 2 weeks, the Padres have been rumored to be one of the front runners for him. Okay? And I do think this story is relevant in terms of the Roki Sasaki situation. Roki, for all we know, okay, we have no idea what he wants, what he prefers, what he's interested in. This can't help. This level of disorganization and discord and confusion and mess is not an appealing attraction to someone who wants to develop into a better player in an environment where they feel cared for and where they feel fostered, right? And so while I do think it is overly simplistic to just slam the Roki button here, I do think that the impact here is non-zero.
And there's a Sasaki mention in the lawsuit. Now, it's citing a San Diego Union Tribune article, but it's talking about the recruitment of players like him. Remember, we talked about this on this show. At the celebration of life where AJ Preller spoke after Peter Seidler's passing, he name-dropped Roki Sasaki as like a player that they are looking forward to pursuing. He said that publicly. Like that was something that he had been talking about with Peter Seidler. So all of this unrest and complications is not just a matter of like, oh, wow, that's a mess. Do I want to get... It's just like, if you're Roki Sasaki, if you're any player, by the way, that wants to sign with the Padres, you would like to know the vision for the team. That's a very important thing. And that could be, will be determined by who is ultimately the control person. So I think that lays out the important parts. This is not going to go away, and we will continue to talk about this on the show as we get updates. But it's just a huge deal. I mean, again, the Padres have been one of the most important teams in Major League Baseball for the last few years, and how this goes will make a difference with that. They're still going to be relevant one way or the other, in part because of this. But it seemed like there was an era opening of like, this is it. Here we go. Golden era Padres baseball. Again, they were not far away from eliminating the Dodgers a few months ago. And it all came crashing down, and now they are in a very, very tenuous position. So we will see. I mean, if you are a lawyer and have any insight on this and want to email us at baseballbarbacast@gmail.com, like go ahead. But I'm looking forward to reading some legal perspectives on this. I can't believe I just said that, but it's true. Like I am interested, but we'll see. And I guess while there's plenty we could get into, the most important thing to understand is that this is important.